The way we eat has changed more in the last 50 years than in the previous 10,000.
Now our food is coming from enormous assembly lines where the animals and the workers are being abused. And the food has become much more dangerous in ways that are being deliberately hidden from us.
You've got a small group of multinational corporations who control the entire food system. From seed to the supermarket, they're gaining control of food.
This isn't just about what we're eating. This is about what we're allowed to say, what we're allowed to know. It's not just our health that's at risk.
The companies don't want farmers talking. They don't want this story told.
Sometimes you look at a vegetable and say, okay, well, we can get 2 hamburgers over here for the same amount of price.
Why is it that you can buy a double cheeseburger at McDonald's for 99 cents and you can't even get a head of broccoli for 99 cents? We've skewed our food system to the bad calories, and it's not an accident. I mean, the reason that those calories are cheaper is because those are the ones we're heavily subsidizing.
Is cheapness everything that there is? I mean, who wants to buy the cheapest car? We're willing to subsidize the food system to create the mystique of cheap food, when actually it's very expensive food. When you add up the environmental costs, societal costs, health costs, the industrial food is not honest food. It's not priced honestly, it's not produced honestly, it's not processed honestly. There's nothing honest about that food.
The meatpacking industry also recruited a new set of immigrants, illegal immigrants and recent immigrants from Mexico.
Many of the illegal immigrants coming to America were corn farmers in Mexico. NAFTA led to a flooding of the Mexican market with cheap American corn. It's put more than 1.5 million Mexican farmers out of work. They couldn't compete with this cheap corn coming from America. So what happens to those 1.5 million Mexican farmers?
Meat packers like IBP, National Beef, and Montford began actively recruiting in Mexico. Companies advertised on the radio and newspapers. IBP set up a bus service in Mexico to bring workers into the United States. For years, the government turned a blind eye to the recruitment of immigrants by the meatpacking industry. But now, when there's an anti-immigrant movement, they're cracking down all of a sudden, but they're not cracking down on these companies. The government is cracking down on the workers.
The idea that any corporation could own a food crop, is a very new idea. And it wasn't until the 1980s that the Supreme Court said you could patent life. And that opened the floodgates, efforts to patent the most valuable parts of life, which is to say, the crops on which we depend.
Public plant breeding is a thing of the past. There virtually are no public seeds anymore.
But I find it incredible that the FDA not only wants to allow the sale of meat from cloned animals without further research, but also wants to allow the sale of this meat without any labeling.
The fast food industry fought against giving you the calorie information. They fought against telling you if there's trans fat in their food. The meatpacking industry for years prevented country of origin labeling. They fought not to label genetically modified foods. And now 70% of the processed food in the supermarket has some genetically modified ingredient.
I think it's one of the most important battles for consumers to fight is the right to know what's in their food and how it was grown.